is it true that Enhypen's crowd is very small in Coachella? Okay, do you want to talk about Coachella first? Because I was going to do a review on Coachella. Do you want to do that first? Do you want to do Coachella first? Okay, first of all, for Coachella, just in case you are interested in going next year, I don't know why you will be, but you will be. There are, if you don't want to do the usual route, you can actually purchase a VIP experience. So it is 10 grand for two people for 3 days. That includes transportation, an artist pass, and food. So they're gonna bring you using a cart, a golf cart, to whatever stage you want to go. And then, yeah, and then you're not like joining the crowd. You have your own restrooms, um, and you have your own food and stuff. So just in case you are interested, sorry, yeah, 5 grand per person, minimum of 10 grand for two people. Lost interest 10 years ago. Oh, yeah. It's in California, correct? It is in California. Sylvia, 10 grand. Oh, hell no. Just in case you're interested. So it's a VIP experience. It's one entire weekend, and they'll pick you up and drop you off in your hotel or Airbnb. And then within the venue itself, it's a huge one. I don't know if you know, but it's a huge, huge, huge venue. And so, if you want to go to, for example, stage one or Sahara stage or whatever, they're going to take you through a golf cart, using a golf cart. So, and then you have food, you have your own VIP restroom, and then you have like a VIP, an artist pass. So you're not going to join the crowd, you're always in the front. Okay. Caribbean lady, I'm good, thanks. 10K. Yep, 10K. For two people for one entire weekend. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'll watch on YouTube. Okay, let's do Coachella. Live streaming. Ashley said live streaming is free though. Have my own bathroom and everything. Okay, let's do Coachella. So as you know, there are four Asian native acts that performed in this year's Coachella. They still have the next weekend, but for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we have XG, Jennie, Lisa, and Enhypen. Okay, and just like any other performance of Blackpink, Enhypen, and XG, there's a lot of talks, a lot of claims that have been going around. So let's set some things clear. Let's set some things straight. Whatever you heard, it's most likely vastly exaggerated, whether or not it is for the artist. So whether it's because they're saying it's a horrible performance or that it's a great performance, both are vastly exaggerated. Okay? So don't believe what you're seeing. People have great editing skills in on online, and so they will cut specific stamps in a clip, basically in the entire performance, and show that to either prove that they did bad or that they did great. Either way, don't believe it because it's not real. They are vastly exaggerating. Okay, so if you want to get a more authentic experience of the performances without being there, of course, the first option is for you to be there. If you want to go, but as close to it as you can, you should just watch Fancom's recording in HD. That's one option. Second is that you watch the live performance and they are streaming it on YouTube. So those are two different things that you can do to make sure that you get the authentic account of what happened. If you go to the official channel of Coachella and watch the playback, they usually repair the audio. So the artist always sounds better. Usually, if the artist is horrible during the performance, vocally at least they will fix it. Okay. Another thing is that this is a fact. Enhypen and XG sang live. They have zero, they have very minimal to zero backtrack. And you would know because whenever, for example, when excuse me, Enhypen would put the phone, the not the phone, the microphone down, there will be no audio. So you know that the they are, the backtrack is super low, or they're actually singing 100% live. And the same thing is true for XG was such badasses. They were just, they sang live. Okay, so this is the Enhypen crowd during the show. Is it as big as J-Hope's Lollapalooza? No. Is it small? No. Is it as big as Lisa and Jennie? No. But is it small? No. So that is the crowd of Enhypen. And this was taken during the show. And this is the official photo released by Coachella. Okay, so the to the person asking, is it true that there was nobody as watching them? It is not true. There were a lot of people there, and this is the crowd for XG. Impressive, huh? Yeah. So that's their crowd. Okay, considering they're like what, 2 years old. Another fact is that Lisa and Jennie sang over their backtracks on some parts of the song. So a lot of people kept on saying that they didn't, they just allowed their backtracks to do all the work for the most part, but there were some portions, some parts of a song when they would actually sing over the backtrack. They would make an effort to be heard over the backtrack. Okay. So, in all fairness to the two, another fact of the two, actually, this may be considered an opinion. I know this is actually factual. Of the two, Lisa sang and rapped more over the backtrack than Jennie. So she made more effort to be heard over the backtrack than Jennie did. So hers, in every, there was like a few songs where, you know, she didn't sing at all. She was just lip syncing, but for the most part, but she had more live part, not live, but over the backtrack than Jennie. Okay, let me know if you're getting confused. And another fact is that both had a massive crowd. And when I say massive, it is massive. This is Jennie's crowd. And this was released by Coachella themselves. Okay. And this is Lisa's crowd, even bigger. And also released by Coachella. So it's a massive crowd. This is the stage set of Lisa. Okay, not surprising. Okay, so for, oh yeah, wait, I should have preloaded this. Okay, 1 second. Let's go to XG first. Okay. So they were just bad. They were just badasses. I have to give it to XG for singing so well, 100% live, to the point that they were so flawless that people were actually accusing them of using a backtrack. Okay, I'm going to let you listen to about 5 seconds of the song. I have to cut it right away because I'm gonna get copyrighted. So okay, let's do 4 seconds. Okay, so this from beginning to end, they were just flawless, and the dancers, the dance line of the group is like, I can't say enough basically of how on point they were in the choreography. I can't say enough about their production design, their clothing. Everything was perfect. They were able to tell a story without compromising the aesthetics of their performance because they all look great. But then you can also tell the story. You can also sort of read what it is that they're trying to tell you. So it's almost as if there's nothing for me to sort of improve because they just are that great, that great. And it is such a waste that we don't get to hear them more often in Korea. or in the Western stage, because they're so good. I think they need, or they definitely need more opportunities to show off what they can really do. They're great, really. Now, if I am forced to sort of, um, sorry, where is it? So if I am forced to suggest any kind of improvement on their performance, it would be, so as I've said, they have flawless vocals, the great dancers, and excellent styling. So if I am going to be forced to suggest any kind of improvement, if it would be most likely the spontaneity. And I understand because they're new. And this is, I think, the biggest crowd that they've ever had. And so I think during the performance, they were so focused in making sure they have everything perfect, that they're they weren't giving as much of an engagement with the audience as they could have. I am not saying they are bad. They did engage. It's just that they can definitely improve more on that respect. And that is something that you can only improve with experience. So all they need is time and opportunities to be able to perform in a bigger crowd. If they keep on doing it, things are going to improve for them on that regard. Okay, next for Enhypen. So if you want to go, I found this performance, the one that I just saw. I found this performance in what in on X, not on YouTube. So if you want to search for them, do it on X, because that's where I found it. The those that are on the ground recording high res HD, they're actually uploading it on X. So for Enhypen, just like XG, they were also great vocally. And just like XG, they were so great vocally that people are accusing them of actually lip syncing. They weren't lip syncing. They were just really great live. I don't know what kind of training Big Hit or B Lift, actually not B Lift. Is it B Lift? That B Lift actually gave them, but they were great. They sounded great. They danced great. And they look very much like a whole unit. They weren't like, there are certain groups out there where when if you see them on stage, you feel like, who, like, what's happening? The For them, they look together, very much together. Okay, I do have some videos of them. Let me. It's a little, I was a little irritated because. Okay, so I will play about 4 to 5 seconds so that you can hear it clearly. And then I'm going to have to stop because then I'm going to get copyrighted by YouTube. Okay, let's go. 5 seconds of their performance. Maybe here. Okay. So, yes, so the ad libs actually gave it away because they were doing a lot of ad libs. And then, as I've said, whenever they put the mic down, you will not hear anything, which is proof that they're actually singing live. Okay, just like XG, if I am forced to say anything, to like just a suggestion for their improvement, it would be to offer something different in festivals. I think one of the things that you should be doing in a festival that you don't do in your concert is to go crazy. It is a festival after all, especially in something like Coachella. Like, go crazy, go big, offer something really, really different, because this is your chance to actually reach out to a new set of audience. And if you do, and the entire world's journalists in the US, their eyes are on this festival. So if you do something that will make you stand out, it's going to introduce you up to a huge part of the market. And so that's the only thing I would want them to do, just like offer something different when it comes to a festival. And how was so powerful. They were very, very powerful. That I agree with. Okay. Next, let's go to Lisa. Lisa. All right. So Great entrance. So this is her entrance. So she was on an elevated platform, tied. Oh, sorry. Are you seeing it? Wait, you're not seeing it. Okay, wait. Where are you? Sorry, I thought I was actually showing it. Oh, here. Okay. So let's watch about 4 to 5 seconds of Lisa's entrance. This is how she started her set. She was on an elevated platform and being held together by, not held together, but she was tied with chains. On chains. She was on chains. Okay, let's do 5 seconds of this. No, shorter than that. Okay. All right. So great entrance. Also, aside from the entrance, she also had 5 different outfits for the night. She performed for about 40 minutes, I think 40, 45 minutes, and she changed her wardrobe 5 times. This one was more like putting on something and taking it off, but still, so five. So a lot of effort, and the stage was great. I have to say, the stage design was great. And you know that she was actually well supported because that stage must have been expensive. So, okay. Um, okay. So, yeah, so the stage looked great. It was very close to nature while being futuristic. So I love that part. Okay. Another thing is that this is, you liked her outfit. Yeah, I did too. I like her outfits. So the one thing she did right on this one is that she decided to sing more over the backtrack. So usually, as you know, she's notorious for lip syncing. And I was kind of sort of like expecting that she was going to do the same thing. And she didn't. She actually sang over the backtrack more than she has ever done so in any of her shows. So, can I play this? Okay, 1 second. Let me see. Okay. So, this part she was actually singing live. Okay, let's listen to it. We'll do 5 seconds. Wait, of course, I showed that part where she wasn't singing. Okay. Let me see. Okay. So there she was actually singing over the backtrack. There is a backtrack, but she was actually singing. And as I've said, this is the most amount of singing from her I have ever witnessed in one entire show. So I feel that is a vast improvement from previous attempts. Okay. All right. Those are the good things. Bad thing. So she had one slow song and she was out of tune. Let me see if I can pull it up here, or maybe not. So she was really like off tune. She was so off, and it was so obvious. Her voice was actually shaking. Let me see if I can pull it up here. So in this slow song that she had, she was sitting down, just exactly this outfit. She was sitting down, and she was just holding the mic, and she was just off key. And I mean, she could have been tired already by this time because it's like the middle of the set, maybe. So I don't know. I do have to give it to Lisa though for the effort to give something spectacular visually. From the outfits to the set, it was one cohesive picture in every moment of the entire performance. And as I've said, because she did the most amount of live singing in this performance than any other performance she has ever done, including their own concert. So I just have to recognize that. However, the thing is that pure aesthetics without a narrative is empty. And that's what was missing in her performance. It was all about grandeur. It was all about aesthetics, how beautiful the overall look is, how cute her outfits were. But there wasn't really a story to tell. And it doesn't have to be something deep or something complicated. If you can just arrange your song in a way that would tell a narrative, it's clearer. And then if you're going to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to create a really complicated and complex but beautiful set, might as well make sure that that set actually tells a story. And there wasn't any. There was no rhyme and reason into the arrangement of the songs. It was just beautiful. Like, if you look at her outfits, it's just beautiful. If you look at the set, it's just beautiful. It's a lot of swag for sure. A lot of swagger. Okay. Next is Jennie. Okay, Jennie. She performed the next day, and just like Lisa, this is the most amount of singing the most amount of time I've seen her sing over the backtrack in a set. I'm not saying that she sang a lot over the backtrack live, but this is the most amount of singing that I've seen her do. Okay. Let me see if I can show you. Okay. Let's do 5. Let's do 5 seconds of this. Wait, can you actually see what's okay. Let's do 5 seconds of this one. Okay. So if you watch closely her mouth, the one disadvantage is that because you know what it sounds like when she's actually trying to sing over the backtrack, you know what it sounds like when she's not singing over the backtrack. And that was what happened for the majority of the time. She wasn't really singing. There was, in fact, one or two songs when I felt like she just gave up singing. I called it the fill in the blank singing or rapping because she would like rap a line or sing a line or maybe not even finish one line and then just like not sing. So you're left to wonder like, what was the song about? Yeah, so it's like fill in the blanks, singing and rapping. Okay. The thing is that she always looks good. Jennie looks stunning always, always, always great with what she wears, how she styles herself, and this night was not an exception. She is a real fashionista, and I have absolutely no questions as to why she is constantly pursued by fashion brands because she always looks flawless, and that includes this night. She looked flawless. But just like Lisa, aesthetics without substance is barren. It's just like nothing. So it's like, I don't know if you've been in like pubs or bars, like small bars in, whatever, like a bar where you drink and then there's a band playing. It sounds like that because when you're in a place like that and you're playing a gig, you're not really, and you have one set, you're not really thinking about like the story of your performance, right? You're just like, okay, let's sing. Whatever the crowd wants us to sing, we'll sing. And this is the same thing for Jennie and Lisa. They both look great. And Jennie, she looks like for herself, like her wardrobe, the way that she styled herself, she was absolutely stunning. And for Lisa, the entire set, including her wardrobe, they were absolutely stunning. But then it's just that. Like it's pretty, but it has no substance. And if you're going to a festival like that, as I've said with Enhypen, you have to offer something different. And that's why Gaga's performance was so mesmerizing, because from beginning to end, you're trying to uncover the story that she's trying to say in her performances, right? Because the thing about Gaga is that we've seen her do the craziest of things. So it is a challenge for her to outdo herself. And she did it by actually creating a narrative in her own performance. So for her, even if it's not, some of her styling is off on, like, if you compare it into a regular fashionista, her styling is off. But because it tells a story, it's great. Like it comes together. Okay. So the thing is that as I was like trying to digest their performance, the one thing that I realized is that this is the YG training. This is the YG style. Um, it's more about projection, it's more about swagger, it's more about projecting, claiming your spot. That is the quintessential YG style. And so I shouldn't have been surprised that this is how they are performing when this is how they were trained and this is how they became successful. So they're just carrying on what they learned from YG when they were trainees, and this that also carried them to stardom all the way until now. So it's like maybe it is my fault for over expecting something, for expecting something that I get from other artists when it has never been their style, right? They have never released an album with a narrative, they have never released a song that says more than we're cool and we're the best, and that, that we're the envy of other women and other groups or other people. That has always been their song. They've had a few, lovesick girls and stuff like that, but for the most part, that is what they are all about. It's like um feminist power through swagger. So so i i think we shouldn't, like, this is what works for them, so we shouldn't be expecting anything more. um but okay, so that is my take on their performance. So I would say if you want to watch the replays of the performances, maybe start with them and then work your way up so that your experience actually elevates. I actually posted on Patreon that after the first day, I said, I have a suggestion, or second day was it? I said, I have a suggestion. If you're going to watch the live performances in Coachella, start with Lisa and then work your way up to Benson Boone because and Lady Gaga. Because if you start with Lady Gaga and Benson Boone, you're gonna like, what the hell is happening? Oh, and that's the other thing. Like there are um here. So there are artists like Benson Boone, for example, or maybe even Ray, or of course Whitney Houston or Mariah Carey, who can stand on stage and have and Adele and just as Celine Dion. There's a lot. They can just stand on stage and sing, and you will be mesmerized. And because these are people who were gifted by the powers that be with a natural great singing voice, and that is all they need, right? Like they don't need to think of a narrative, they just need to sing because their voice in itself is the narrative. That's where the story is. But they're no Adele. They're not Adele, they're not Whitney Houston, certainly not Celine Dion. So like you have to be if you don't have that great of a voice, and that is once in a life, I mean, that's rare in a lifetime, not once in a lifetime, but that's rare in a generation. If you don't have that voice, or even a Benson Boone or Queen, like if you don't have that voice, then you have to make up for it by being intelligent how you perform and what you sing. And so, but it doesn't change the fact that this is their identity as Blackpink members and as Jennie and as Lisa. They're all about, as I've said, women power through swagger. And so maybe it is like, I think the bottom line is that it is not for me. It doesn't mean that it is not for other people. So maybe other people actually find this great. Okay. So there was one question. I still have something for Coachella.